The streets of Samaria, usually dominated by the swift, menacing passage of Turkic cavalry, now yield to a different kind of procession. Mutawakkil, against the urgent advice of his frightened viziers, orchestrates a grand public show of traditional piety. The spectacle is dazzling. Hundreds of newly freed scholars, long suppressed under the mihna, walk openly, dressed in white, chanting prayers and reciting ancient verses. Mutawakkil himself rides a prized white stallion, not flanked by the usual intimidating ranks of Turkish bodyguards, but by the highest echelon of the traditional judiciary and Sunni theologians. The public outpouring is immediate and overwhelming. Cries of Allahu Akbar echo between the soaring walls of the city's vast thoroughfares. People press forward, desperate to touch the hem of the caliph's robe, seeing him not as a political figurehead, but as the redeemer of faith. This visible, surging wave of popular support is the shield he is forging against the military. Each cheer is a repudiation of the Turkic power structure. Each blessing is an affirmation of his reinstated spiritual supremacy. Bugha al-Kabir observes the parade from the roof of the Barquwari Palace, his position strategically high, yet symbolically distant. He sees the genuine adoration of the people, and for the first time, a flicker of uncertainty crosses his stone-like face. The caliph is building a different kind of army, one of popular belief, rendering the physical force of the garrison potentially irrelevant in the public sphere. Mutawakkil's calculated risk is paying off. He has temporarily exchanged the golden chains of the palace for the potent, if fickle, armor of the crowd's devotion.
Days later, transported Mutawakkil miles downriver to a vast barren stretch of land, currently nothing more than desert scrub and sun-baked earth. This is the site of his final solution, Al-Ja'fariyah, the new city, designed to become the new capital of the Abbasid Empire, permanently severing the court's connection to the toxic political environment of Samarra and its entrenched military leadership. Architects and engineers swarm the area, unrolling enormous complex blueprints detailing a city that would rival Baghdad in grandeur, yet be politically sterile. Mutawakkil studies the blueprints, tracing the planned walls of the new Jami Mosque, the central avenue, and the sprawling palace complex that would be secure and solely loyal to him. The scale of the ambition is breathtaking. He is not merely building a residence, he is physically relocating the center of world power, hoping to leave behind the ghosts of military anarchy and the crushing weight of previous caliphs' mistakes. The construction is rapid, financed by massive levies, and overseen with tyrannical urgency. He watches the foundational stones being laid, recognizing that every brick is a testament to his belief that true authority requires a fresh start, untainted by historical power debts. His vizier, Fath ibn Khaqan, a loyalist of Persian descent, watches alongside him, their silent understanding complete. Fath sees the exhaustion in the caliph's eyes, the toll of playing the political game of attrition. Mutawakkil whispers to the vizier that here, far from the watchful eyes of the deposed commanders, he will finally be the true commander of the faithful, restoring the glory of the Abbasid name. The sun sets, casting long, triumphant shadows of the planned structures across the empty plain, symbolizing the looming shadow of the revived caliphate.
Construction of the immense Al-Mutawakkiliyah Canal, designed to draw water directly from the Tigris many miles upstream and ensure Al-Ja'fariyah's self-sufficiency, became the primary engineering focus. Mutawakkil toured the newly dug trenches daily, emphasizing the strategic importance of this water lifeline. It was an explicit political statement. Samarra's power relied on control over infrastructure, and by building his own, Mutawakkil severed that dependency. he addressed the supervising engineers, stating that the flow of water was the flow of authority, and that those who controlled the lifeblood of the city controlled its fate. The sheer volume of earth moved and the complex hydraulic calculations necessary symbolized the Caliph's boundless resources and his determination to permanently isolate himself from the unpredictable political tides that swept through the old capital, securing a bastion of unwavering Abbasid purity far from the influence of the mercenary legions who believed they dictated the terms of the Khilafah.
A celebrated court astronomer, a man known for his meticulous, if fearful, adherence to celestial portents, approached متوكل بورمة مبهمة. He presented a complex astrological chart showing the convergence of malignant stars over the new palace, interpreting the sign as foretelling imminent danger from within the caliph's own household and guard. He spoke in veiled metaphors of the serpent coiled beneath the throne. Mutawakkil, increasingly preoccupied with imposing rational order upon his realm, dismissed the warnings as archaic superstition, reaffirming his faith in his walls and his political machinations over celestial fate. His refusal to heed the warning was symptomatic of his growing hubris. He believed his strategic genius had neutralized all threats, unable to recognize that the most lethal threats were often cloaked not in armies but in the familiar faces of his own progeny and trusted courtiers, acting within the very geometric perfection he had designed for his own security.